My story is like that of Joseph. I came to Abuja running from my family. Jacob, sorry, like of Jacob. I came into Abuja running from my family. There was a situation and I had to run to a relation here in Abuja. I heard about Abuja, but when I got to where they were staying, it was in Nyanya. It was a different thing altogether. It was a totally different thing. I managed to find where to lay my head that night I got into the place in Nyanya. I've never lived, since when I was 12 years, I've not shared a bed with anybody. I've not shared a bed, unless when we have visitors in the house, then we could manage and share. But there, we were about, I think, 8 in one room. Then the next morning, when we came out, it was like there was a crusade in the compound. There was a lot of people. I was wondering, where are all these people coming from? And people were queuing up to go take their bath in the bath. Sincerely, that morning I told myself, Ellie, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. But I couldn't go back because I was dreadful of this phrase. I know he was going to come back. So I never wanted to hear that. So I said, I'm going to stick it out here. I made some friends. I stayed first week, second week, third week. So when I go out there was a kiosk, we normally sit there and people will discuss and all. And I'm out there speaking one English and all. They'll be saying, who is this person? He doesn't fit in here. What is he doing here? You're doing all ajebo and all for us. What are you doing here? But I thank God that in that process, there was one guy I got friendly with. He was an office assistant in one of the firms in the city. So they gave him a boy's quarter, said he could, so that he'll be coming to work early. So when they gave him the house, he now told me, he said, Eliu, I know that you don't fit in here. Would you mind to come and stay with me in town? I said, it was just God. I said, thank you. I followed him to town. So I went to get something, and I saw Family Worship Center. I saw Family Worship Center invitation card. Then I asked the guy, is this a church? He said, there's a church in the Hilton. I said, really? I said, can I take the card? He said, yes, I can take the card. Then the next Sunday, I came to the Hilton. Immediately I entered church, it was like where I was coming from. If any of you here come from Aba, you know of Living Word. Living Word, the same worship, everything is the same thing. It's like I found the home I was running away from in Family Worship Center. I got Sister Helen Dimas, as she then was leading worship. It was just my cousin, Abby. She was the worship director in Living Word. The slide then, the same thing as it were in Aba. I said, okay, this is my place. Then I started coming. The word was powerful. Sincerely, I never went back. But to cut the long story short, those people, I went with my wife to that place about 2 weeks ago. There are still same people still living in the same place over 16 years. But for the grace of God, 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 but for the grace of God. Secondly, I want to thank God for the love I've received in this place. When I came newly, Pastor Solomon Akuba, he's not here, Mr. Frank Chidebere, Brother Wale, as he then was, Brother Dominic, as he then was. Everybody, they showed me a lot of love. I've never felt love like that. Pastor, there was a day you hugged me at the Hilton. This time we normally move. So we had a meeting at the Booker at the Hilton. They moved us to the Booker to have a meeting. Then you were coming in. I think I was just standing, and you came across and you hugged me. It meant a lot for me. It meant the world to me. It meant the world to me. And Pastor also, I always tell Uncle, that's my uncle, tell him that my pastor is the best pastor in the whole world. Say, what is your pastor that you're always talking about? When he saw you at the wedding, by the way, pastor came to my wedding, sincerely. Please. When he saw you at the wedding, he said, truly, your pastor is the best pastor in the whole world. Please, I just want to adjure you, whatever word you hear pastor say here at this pulpit, follow it, do it. It will do you good. Pastor, last December, that's the last testimony. Last December, whenever you came up here, you said that we must go and do our retreat before the next year. There was the last time you came home, you said, God forbid that there will be a man in this church that will not go for his retreat before the year started. I never wanted to do that, though I normally would, but I didn't just feel like doing that. But I obeyed the word, and I went and I had my retreat. The very first day I started the retreat, I was reflecting on how the year went. I saw that I wasn't my ambitious self. Sincerely, I am very, very ambitious. But I just wasn't my ambitious self. Something told me that the Spirit of God said, I've circled this mountain long enough. It was time for me to move forward. God brought me into a certain blessing. I thought that I've entered into my rest. And I unpacked, But God said, no, you don't unpack. I'm taking, you're still going, further. Then, as a result of that, I started developing a business plan that entailed that I should travel. During the praying and fasting, I prayed about it. I went for the visa interview carrying a big bag. That's the bag my wife gave me, that I have been accumulating documents that I will prove, documents I will take to the embassy and all. Pastor, I went for the interview. Nobody asked me of anything. All I did, I presented my passport. They asked me if I've traveled out of the country. I rattled all the places I've been to. The man did not look at anything, just my passport, and they gave me the visa. I just want to thank God for his faithfulness. God has been good. God has truly been good to me. Thank you.